Welcome to Tales from the Walk-In, episode 6. You know who it is. It's Hot Sauce Tuna Sandwich. Here with the lovely Katie Sadiq
Hi guys.
and the
Strongest back
the strongest back,
you'll
the
ever meet.
strong back Zaddy,
Ew.
aka Claybon Lee. And today we have a very special guest, dude that we've all known for quite a minute. I'll let him introduce himself, Mr. Clayton Kidd.
What up? What up? I'm Clayton. I've known these cats off and on for a few years now, so it's good to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Welcome, man. So shit, man, let's get into it.
Go ahead and get it out the way. Let's go ahead and
Oh,
toast.
yeah, let's
Thank you
do
for being
shots
here,
first.
Clayton.
Thanks.
We
Cheers.
appreciate it.
Doing a little tequila.
Oh yeah, today we're keeping it local. TC Crafts,
I fuck with TC Craft.
Reposado, straight out of Nashville.
It's on Charlotte, isn't it?
It is on Charlotte.
Yeah, I think I've passed that before. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
So shit, man, let's get into it, man. Clayton, tell the world about yourself, man.
I have bartended. I grew up in Nashville. I've lived here off and on for about 30 years. I spent some time in Birmingham, Alabama. My parents got divorced. So I moved down there for about 10, 12 years. I've been a bar manager around town, bartended. I currently work for Angel's Envy, which is a Kentucky bourbon distillery out of Louisville, Kentucky. I don't want to say I'm a brand ambassador. We're not really like that term. It's pretty a little arrogant in my opinion, but I'm a whiskey guardian for Angel's Envy. Just go around promoting bourbon, what we do at Angel's Envy. Do a lot of staff trainings, staff tastings, consumer engagements, finishing dinners. Really have about 13 jobs in one. I do some engravings on bottles. As you know, Vic works at Rosemary and Beauty Queen. That's one of our big accounts. So I see him around a good bit.
So does Katie now. Katie's over
Oh,
there. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's one of our huge accounts. Definitely a top 2 or 3 in the state. And we're thankful for that. And we're appreciative. So you'll see me around a good bit, Katie, in there.
But shit, man. So what do you like about the Nashville market as far as bartending here, or just your industry career in general, man? You know.
Oh, it's. I hate to say overwhelming. I don't really get overwhelmed a lot, but there is constantly something happening every night of the week. Somebody somewhere is doing either whether it's an industry focused happy hour, whether there's a brand like TC Craft or Angel's Envy, or I just left a Blade and Bow USBG event. There's like 3 happy hours going on tonight for the industry. While it can get a little oversaturated, it's still awesome that Nashville's such a great city to where every night of the week you find something to get into. You find people you know to meet, hang out with. I love how there's probably 500 bars in this city, and every one of them will be busy, typically on a nightly basis. And it's also, for as big of a city it is, it's still got the small town feel. You know, you can usually walk into a bar and know 1 or 2 people sitting there, and that's part of probably growing up here and meeting people, and networking. But still, I feel like service industry here is 6 degrees of separation, which is a good and bad thing. But
Shit, man, it might be 4 degrees.
yeah, it's still a small town. Like in the scheme of big cities, I still feel like we have a small town feel when it comes to like people and networking and friends. We're all, if you don't know somebody, you know somebody that knows somebody. Like just the 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
So.
I
For
mean,
sure.
Just us in general here with fucking Mike in the studio.
Yeah,
And,
I didn't even know Mike was when I walked up and Mike was here. I was like, I didn't even know Mike was involved in this. That's great. I rest my case.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. There's always stuff to activate. There's plenty of bars. There's plenty of restaurants, liquor stores. There's always really cool stuff you can do around town where you don't feel like you're doing the same stuff every day. You're not doing it at the same places. I know I've done plenty of events at Rosemary. I've come into Hampton Social a few times, did a staff tasting, small consumer engagement, kind of spur of the moment. I just love there's so many places to activate and do really cool stuff with. And,
shit, this one thing that past guest Owen had brought up during COVID and shit, when you weren't able to go to bars and actually promote like the brand that you worked for, like you had to do a lot of going to liquor stores and shit, right?
Yeah, we're still doing. Angel's Envy is stuck with that. I still have to do. I don't have to. I like to. I just like talking bourbon, but we still do. We focus on liquor stores still. I think that's going to stay even after COVID. I think we'll continually be activating through liquor stores and such. So it makes sense because liquor stores will order like 50, 60, 70, sometimes 100 cases. So it makes sense to go in
Yeah,
there.
that's good for y'all, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know Rosemary is huge. You guys maybe order 2, like compare that to like 3 cases a week. You guys order. I mean, a liquor store orders like 50 cases. That's ridiculous.
Shit, at one point in time, man, I think we were like top 5 in the country
Yeah.
for Angels Envy,
Yeah,
man.
you
Like,
probably still are. I would imagine.
Yeah.
So a few places have picked up. Like Butchertown Hall's really picked up a lot, but that was from me working there and kind of putting it on the menu. But it's not really so much a competition. But you guys, Rosemary's definitely in the top 5 in the country for sure. I would imagine.
A.
And you're competing with nobody will ever beat like MGM Grand in Vegas. They order like they'll probably do like I don't know the numbers. I don't want to quote it, but I would imagine like 50, 100 cases a week or
Fucking
a
ridiculous
month or
amount,
something
man.
like that. And
fucking
nobody will ever beat that when it comes to on premise. But for a small bar as Rosemary is, you guys absolutely crush Angels Envy. So.
we drank a lot of that shit.
Yeah. So
So we're gonna get to the question of why he's here. You know, the title of the show. What made you go into the walk-in?
like the walk-ins like an Acme and
Like, yeah,
Any walk.
yeah,
in.
man.
Any walk-in.
And I mean, I guess it all started as a place to. I mean, I'm just throwing Acme because I currently bartend there a few shifts. Just walk-ins in general, yeah. As you to me, starting out in the service industry as a busboy when I was like 16 at Tony Romo's picking up rib bones, you'd go in there to get away because you were on the clock and you wanted to take a break. So that was originally a spot you just go into. If it was hot, you'd go in there and cool off.
Yep.
I think we've all gone in there and probably cried or thrown a fist at something before.
Fucking swinging at the air.
Yeah, swinging at the air. Places to. It's definitely a spot to get away, disappear. For hey, I don't smoke cigarettes, so if somebody would go on a cigarette break, you'd be like, well, I'm going to go on a walk-in break and I'm going to chill on the walk-in. Especially if you're on the rooftop or you're outdoors working, it's a place to cool off.
Shit, for you, what's an experience you had that like just like pissed you off that like you just had to go take a break and go there? You know,
I mean, nothing stands off the top of my head, but usually just getting frustrated with customers or you don't want to run your mouth to them. You always want to keep your cool. At least I try to. Like I said, I mean, the bottom line is probably either to change a keg, but while you were down there, hey man, I'm not gonna lie, I got my vape pen on me. I'm gonna go on the walk in and hit this vape pen.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really gone down there and I don't really use it for like drinking purposes. It's not so much that, but definitely go in there and take like a hit off your vape, cool off. Take a break. I don't really have any particular stories. I did see a guy at Acme one time throw up in a cup and drink it, and I kind of disappeared and was like, I need to.
that's some wild shit.
His friend, it was on the rooftop. His friend dared him. He didn't want to hurl, so I respect the guy throwing up in a cup. But then his friend dared him to drink it, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the basement. I was like, I'm taking a break after that, and that was just one example.
That's
that
some
stands
old
out.
Broadway shit like
Man,
that.
this was probably 2015 or something. So just real random stuff. But it is a good getaway when you're pissed off.
that
or
is
angry
fucking.
or-
That's gross.
My pit bull died maybe about a year and a half ago, and that was a good place to go to, like, disappear, especially Butchertown Hall. That was a good place to disappear if you thought you were about to break down in public and you didn't want people to see you crying or something like that. So probably the last time I did it was when my dog died, and you could just feel it. You could feel it building up while you're behind the bar. And you're like, hey, I'm gonna go in the walk-in for 5 minutes and reset myself. Thank you, sir.
I feel that.
Welcome, man.
But nothing crazy. I don't have any overly. I don't know what kind of stories you've heard. I don't have anything overly crazy when it comes to.
Oh, you should have heard our last one.
What's an example? Like, I'm curious. Like, what are some of these?
Fucking Joko, man. Like, he's working at Cracker Barrel in Murfreesboro, and they were like, they had this game that who had the 2 lowest sales had to go bone in the walk-in.
Oh shit! No, definitely nothing like that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's probably the wildest one we've heard so far.
That's interesting. That's definitely so against health code, but okay. I mean,
No, that's not goat cheese.
yeah,
That is not goat cheese.
Yikes.
Oh, gross. I definitely cannot match that, Joko. So
Joko's wild.
yeah.
Crop Boy Summer.
That's hilarious.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I would know too many. I was married for about 6 years up until about a year and a half ago. So those days were a little behind me, but I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I would know a girl or a woman that would allow me to even do that with her. So I don't. Maybe I'm going for the wrong women, but
Man,
most
you know
women I
someone-
go for be like, yeah, I'm not screwing you in the walk-in.
You're not gonna
Cooler,
fuck you in the
I'm not gonna
walk-in.
fuck you in the walk-in.
To be fair, he also like stated like the age range, and I was like, oh yeah, like young.
Oh,
He was,
young.
like doing like young,
Yeah.
doing some shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
cool.
18 and like 22 probably.
Yeah.
They were young.
That's definitely not a place I go to like eat pussy or anything.
I'm
You be
so
cold.
turned on right now.
Yeah, you be-
Let's
you
go
be
to
cold.
the
Let's
walk-in.
go to the walk-in.
Let's
go
go
in there.
HPK.
Let's go.
I was wondering when the name
No.
the name of the show. I was wondering. I mean, I kind of got a feel for what it meant. I just didn't know if it was a takeoff like a service industry. Like,
Oh yeah, it's everything.
you
Man, we
actually
just-
have tales from the walk.
We actually have
that-
tales from that
that's great.
motherfucker, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
But man,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's also a place, man. Like I say this all the time, man. Like we work in the industry where the people that come into our bars, they don't necessarily view us as people. They more so look at us as things, more like an accessory to their night instead of like a person with kids or a person with a wife or, you know, a family. They just look at us like we're not even human. So like we're just trying to give people in Nashville a platform to like talk your shit, man. You know?
The walk-in is definitely like your therapy like room. Like,
Yeah,
like,
we're your therapist
No, I
for the next hour.
I feel like I should have a better story. I have tons of restaurant stories. I just feel like I should have. I guess I've just always used the walk-in, either bar backing or bartending as a place to go hit a vape pen or man. I mean, even
it's
smoke a
okay.
bowl.
The more alcohol that you consume,
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah,
stories might come
The
out
stories get better.
Dude,
that you might have buried deep down within your soul, and they might just come out. It's okay.
we got some time and a lot of
I would-
tequila.
I wish,
No, a
I,
lot of
wish I,
time.
could- I wish I could say I had sex in a walk-in. I've definitely never done that.
Yeah, I mean, me
I've
either,
Never
bro.
fuck. What?
Kind of part of
No.
me that wish I had now that we're talking about it. You know, like, it'd make it a good story.
Like that whole hot and cold feeling? Like
Yeah.
Kind of like the total opposite of having sex in a jacuzzi.
sex and jacuzzis fucking suck, man.
Yeah,
Just about
and pools too, and any type of water. Yeah, that's
I've never done it.
shit, man. Working with a liquor brand, like, do you think that you ever like became a bar snob from just like your time in the industry and shit like that? You know,
100%. Yeah.
really?
I mean, I try not to. I try not to have that. I try not to be snobby about it. But yeah, 100%. You know,
Oh
like
yeah,
now
no,
and-
you're sitting at the bar and like totally judging. Like,
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. You know, bartending will do that to you. You'll go to a place and be like, this bartender fucking sucks, man. Like, you know, and you try to be patient with people, but absolutely. And when it comes to drinking products, you're like, somebody's like, you want well whiskey? You're like, don't ever give me fucking well whiskey. You
I'll
know,
take
like,
I take
kind of a
well
snob.
tequila, but
Depending on what your well is.
Yeah, I'm kind of a snob, you know. I'm like, some places use well, like Four Roses would be their well bourbon, but that's more of the high class, you know, higher end, as opposed to
Yeah.
like Kentucky Gentleman or Kentucky Tavern. Or
but
something
whenever
like
you
that.
order, like, do you automatically go ahead and like tell them like what you want instead of just being like, I'll take a whiskey on the rocks.
I'm such an easy customer because I usually just get bourbon or I get a beer and a shot.
Shot and a beer, man.
Dude, I'm such the easiest
Yeah,
person. Like
easy.
I don't really order like. I'm not a huge cocktail person. I'm not big on like Sazeracs and Last Words and Aviations. Doesn't mean I won't drink them.
I
but
do
just
love
don't.
last words. Man.
I love a Sazerac. I don't never know where to order it because you don't never know who can make it and who
I
can't.
made one
you
last
know.
night.
Yeah, you just never know. Like, can this person make a legit Sazerac? Are they gonna, you know, like so with cocktails like that? I try to stick to cocktail
Like
bars.
this Sazerac is one of those drinks, man. There's like quite a few different ways to make it. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I prefer split base Sazerac, man. Give me a little bit of that cognac and then give me a little bit of rye whiskey, split base that thing, and that's. Or actually, I prefer a straight cognac Sazerac.
like a
which is-
Vucare almost. Kind
Yeah,
of.
damn near.
Yeah.
But with the absent rinse, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. absolutely.
So what I didn't even use a rye last night. You want to know what I used?
What'd you use?
Because the guys they wanted Blanton's.
Fuck off.
So no, they didn't ask for the Sazerac. So I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna whip up something. So I used Blanton's Remy 1732,
1738,
38. Sorry,
Fetty Wap.
shout out. But yeah, Remy, Blanton's, absent, Peychaud, you know.
Do you do the rinse or the mist?
I did a little mist in the
Yeah,
glass.
that's right. I like using a little atomizer and
Served it straight up.
Dude, you know what's super dope when making Sazeracs, dog? If you put it in a chilled, if you like chill the glass
Mm-hmm.
and then spray the absinthe on that motherfucker, that like steps it up a whole fucking line, man.
I want,
Noted.
I want to hear a story about somebody getting tattooed in the walk-in or something. Be like, yeah, I was in the walk-in.
Fucking go talk. We can go
tattooed a
talk to the
happy face.
motherfuckers from Dino's, man. Like that. What? You don't remember that party they had?
We had a
over there?
tattoo shop set up in the walk-in. That's what I want to hear that story.
What?
You know.
Yeah, at Dino's that one time.
No,
You never heard about that?
nope.
Yeah, it was motherfucker doing tattoos inside of Dino's.
What the fuck?
They had like shut down and like apparently like a motherfucker like flipping burgers and then it's like a motherfucker doing tattoos like
Let me go ahead and build my clientele real quick.
So you can get your animal fries and a smiley face
If you want.
all in the same night.
Just that night, I think they closed down for a special party or some shit. They actually got a lot of backlash from that because, you know.
I mean, yeah, health violations. No disrespect, Dinos. We love you.
Yeah, I love Dino's, man.
How'd you transition, or how did you transition from like bartending to what you do now?
I think it was just I always prided myself on being pretty good at my job, pretty organized, friendly, nice, sociable. So, you know, I'd talk to everybody that came into the bar. I'd just network and make friends. And I think eventually, after a while of being bar managers and beverage directors and bartending, people just, I'm still good. I got one, so I am driving at the end of this. I think it was just, I don't want to like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I think it was just being a positive bartender. People read that. Reps would come in. You were easy to work with. You were easy to deal with. One of my best friends in Nashville, Corey Hozak, was already involved with Angels Envy.
Love Corey, man.
Corey, man,
Corey's
that's
fucking dope, man.
Baker was is his boss, and Baker Hoffman's great. I just think it was from knowing the right people, obviously showing your work ethic, that you can be organized, you can do scheduling, you can organize, you're on time, you show up, you're a quality employee. I just think people start to notice that, and so the position came open, and I applied, and you know, I still had to go interview and all that stuff, but I just think through doing your job really well, people just notice stuff like that, because it is important being a brand rep. You still have to be. I know it looks like it's all fun and games, and you just go out drinking, and that is part of it. But there's also a lot of stuff that goes into the events you set up where you're doing that out. So you really do have to still be organized and really be on top of your game when it comes to being a brand rep. They want to make sure you can hold your booze. Hey, this guy has like 6 DUIs. Yeah, he's probably not a good fit for this job or something like that.
Because you got to drink, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be responsible. It's numerous things. It's, you know, that's a very good question. It's probably asked the people that hired me more about like what made them want to hire me, but I chalk it up to just being just really good at your job, being organized, being on time, being friendly, being social, because all those come into play when you're a brand rep. You know, you can't. If you don't talk much and you're an introvert, you're probably not going to do very well as a brand rep, because it involves going out and meeting people and talking to strangers and
kind of like doing your own small party type shit, man.
Yeah.
You know,
and you're getting up in front of people you don't know. Sometimes it's 100 people. You got to be able to talk and know your shit. And I think, you know, any brand that's out there probably looks for those type of qualities when it comes to. And it's also important being a bar manager and a bartender, because they want to make sure you know about bourbon. They want to make sure they want to know that you know about like what makes bourbon, and you can educate people on the process of bourbon.
Knowledge.
Yeah, product knowledge. Thank you. Yes,
product knowledge is key, man. I mean, just in any facet of anybody's
I'm so
service.
rusty.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like starting out where I started, and then like what I kind of like trickled down to, and like just literally just like slinging like quick shit at Three Crow and like Corner Bar.
Yeah.
I'm rusty as fuck.
The one and done.
Were you part of the Three Crow
Yeah.
bullshit that happened?
Yeah.
And all that? Are we allowed to?
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, fuck those motherfuckers, man.
fuck Three Crow. Yeah, fuck you. I didn't know if I was allowed to say that. Yeah, fuck those assholes.
Yeah, fuck those motherfuckers.
Let's fire
man.
people in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Dickheads, yeah.
Oh, and like let's fire the motherfuckers that helped build this shit. I don't even want to go on my Three Crow.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
we
and,
don't have to.
and rebuild.
I didn't know. I didn't know if there were.
Yeah, fuck. What's his name? Rick.
I'm not into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kelly.
fuck Rick, man. Rick and Kelly. Man.
Yeah,
Fuck
I'm
both
not.
of them niggas.
Nope. Ain't it? Nope.
Oh, and shout out to Luna Azul. Fuck Rick and Kelly. Oh,
That's,
So I'm not. I didn't have any. I didn't have anything to do with it. But I had. I knew Sarah that worked there, and just how they screwed people over. That's just not how you treat. That's just how you treat people in this industry, and
Well,
especially
man.
people that have been there. How long were you there?
I was only there for 2 years.
That's still like only shit. That's
Right.
a long fucking time.
I know, but
It is.
I was one of the ones that moved up a lot quicker than anybody else. Which I was grateful for. Like I got thrown into bar. Like I started out serving, which I was cool with, and then I was there for like a month and a half, and a position came open for a bartender, and I kind of got offered, and I was like, shit. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take it. And I was like, but I don't want to deal with like the backlash from like other people that have been here longer than me. But also I know how to do my job, and I appreciate you guys for like let me.
that
like,
place used to
come-
be a place where people had to die out for you to get a fucking
Right.
job, man.
Red Door Saloon,
Yeah.
same way. Man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Like a lot of their original staff is still over there.
That Red Door East.
Mm-hmm.
I bar back there for a while. It was great. I mean, I loved the job. The secondhand smoke got to me after a while. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Ah, I
so
see.
Yeah.
I had to buy when I was married, we had to buy a new bed because like I'd come home.
Just
The bed over time smelled like the mattress smelled like cigarettes. You
Yeah,
know?
got
'Cause you
basically
would
burn
just-
your clothes or just
Yeah.
like strip down, make sure you shower and
Or
wash
be-
your hair. Like
even
yeah.
after showering, it would be in your hair.
Yeah,
like,
it's
like-
just
yeah.
over time, you know. But I still love Red Door. I go in there. I still see the people that work there, which is going back to people dying. It's crazy. Like 7 years later, you go in there and people are still. You're like, man, you're still working here. That's great, man.
I mean, it was. I mean, dude. I mean, you can see how the community came together for the people that lost their jobs at Three Crow. Because if you drive past that joint now, man,
Dang.
Well, it's a
fucking ghost
town.
town,
Yeah,
dude.
ghost.
Like,
I wonder if they're regretting that decision.
They will in a few months.
That dude about to go in the walk-in for sure.
And he's probably gonna stay in there.
Oh no.
yeah.
I think it's been making me more mad here lately. Like this, especially like living so like close to work now, and
You could walk to that joint and
yeah, but it's like driving by there, and I'm just like, this is such a waste of fucking space now. Like
Yeah.
nobody.
But you know they did the staff at 1016 the same way a couple
Right,
years
yeah,
ago, man.
yeah.
You know, like
That place still empty.
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know how
still for sale.
this day and age in Nashville, how anything stays empty in that location.
Nobody. I don't think anybody really has a game plan
it's-
for a
it's
restaurant
the,
over there.
It's the price point.
Yeah, and that price. It's not cheap.
Yeah, that man, 5 points, man. That's kind of prime real estate, man.
Yeah.
I wonder how much it is a month out of curiosity, like 50 grand or something like
Probably
more-
something ridiculous.
Probably more than that, man. Who knows? That's crazy.
Shit, man, you were touching on like just recently getting divorced, maybe a year and a half ago, man. How have you balanced like your relationships and personal and industry relationships? You know, working in the biz, man.
I've just focused. I've taken almost every bit of energy I've had. I haven't been bartending in almost a year and a half, almost 2 years. About a year and a half, and I just focused all my effort, all my energy into doing really fun Angels Envy events. I work really hard. If I take all that negative energy that came from my divorce, and I've just channeled it. I don't know how to. Just something you can't teach people. I have no idea how to tell people how to do that. It's just something that
Fucking work through it type
just
shit.
work through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bombed, man. I wasn't. Nobody should be ever happy about getting. I see like divorce parties, and you're like, look, even if you and your ex-wife hate each other, you should never be happy about getting divorced. It's definitely a failure. In my life, I always look at it as like, man, I totally failed at being a fucking husband. And that's something you just learn to live with and you learn to deal with. But you know, we just had different career paths, different hours. Coming home at 5 a.m., she's going to work at 6 a.m.
Man.
Just, man, me and my ex-wife get along great. We have a great friendship now, but being husband and wife, it turned into a business over a relationship.
Because I mean,
sure.
you pretty much don't see that person, man. You know.
Yeah, and it was just different views on life, religion, politics, wanting kids. So I've just channeled that energy, and I've always really tried to be a positive person the best I can, and I've just tried to channel that energy, and instead of being pissed off and angry, and I'm never having a fucking girlfriend again, I'm never getting married again, like I won't say stuff like that, because I mean, I enjoyed being married, but I didn't enjoy fighting and arguing and
Right.
bickering.
Because I
and-
remember
Respect.
working in like, man, you would pretty much go to work and then go straight to the
Just
crib.
I just went
Yeah.
home, man. That's
Yeah.
what, yeah, man.
Butchertown Hall.
Yeah, people would be like, "Hey, you want to go out?" I'd be like, "Nah, man.
Nope.
Go home.
I'm
I
shooting
got-
off to the crib.
I had a
Like,
nice
I-
house, man. I miss my house, man, for sure. But
Yeah, and you had a little hike of a drive too.
I lived in Smyrna.
Yeah,
for,
you were not close.
6 years, fucking Cane Ridge and Smyrna for about 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So this is my first time since I've been back in Nashville since 2012 that I've lived in the city.
Oh shit.
Because when I moved back, I lived in Nippers Corner, then Cane Ridge, and then Smyrna because I owned houses. And,
Smyrna is a hike, man.
it was-
And then the crazy thing is, don't you live like right across the street from Butchertown Hall now?
I do. I live next door, painting steaks. Yeah, I'm in there all the time, man. Like, it's cool though, man. I left that place on good terms. That's a great account. It's going back to Angels Envy and Rosemary. Butchertown Hall is a great account. But really, man, I just channeled that energy into trying to be, instead of being pissed off and angry and, hey, everybody feel bad for me, I got divorced. Like, man, everybody, I don't say everybody gets divorced, but it's like half the country gets divorced. Like, it's not an excuse to be a dick or sad or angry. Like, you know, you move on with your life, you know. And you
I
just-
think you're doing pretty good, bro.
yeah, man, you just move on and you focus forward and you just don't live in the fucking past and you learn from the mistakes you made through being a husband, you're like, I probably did this wrong. I probably could have handled this different. And you learn that. You ever get in a relationship again, you take those lessons you learned and you apply them to your next relationship, or you just apply them towards life. You know, be like, hey, maybe don't. Not that I'm a dick, but be like, hey, maybe next time that happens, don't be such a dick about it. Like, don't be so snippy. Like, learn communication, I guess is what I'm saying. I learned
Communication is so key.
Yeah, I've learned to communicate a lot better than I was when I got married 7 years ago. Like, I'm much better at communicating now.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
So you just try and take it's a life lesson. Everybody learns shit their own way. Some people learn it the hard way. Some people learn it the easy way.
I think as adults, I don't think we don't how to communicate a lot. Like even between the three of us, sometimes I'm like, yo.
Oh yeah.
Between the three of us all the fucking time, man.
Yeah, I'm like, communicate. Like, let's fucking communicate, please.
Yeah.
And thank you. Also, don't send me a text message. Call me and talk to me because I don't like reading the fucking messages.
Noted, Katie.
Thank you.
That was for me.
I'm a texter. I'm not a
No, it's
that
just
was
in
for me.
general. I'm just like, oh my God, there's so many texts coming through right now. Please, just call. Can we call? Like, people don't call anymore.
Is it the words?
No,
Is
it's
it
just
too many
like
words?
it's like whenever I'm getting like, boom, hit, boom, 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 and I'm like,
Would you like some of that?
I don't want to do this right now. Like,
I mean,
Can we just-
give me a second.
can we have a conversation?
It's important not just in relationships. I mean, even as a friendship, communication. It's important. All around in life, it's just an important.
I mean, more importantly, like in our industry, from servers to bartenders,
course.
food
We should have a
runners.
class called
Host.
communicating as an adult 101.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not easy.
Yeah,
We should probably do one for the industry for sure.
Yeah.
especially with just take managers and bartenders, servers. I mean, like, there's some jobs you have, and you're like, man, there was zero communication on this event that was happening tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't know anything about this event until the minute I walked into this building, and that event starts in 30 minutes. But
Yep.
you could have at least communicated that, hey, there's a private party of 100 people. or-
Email, text.
Yeah, but let's go back to the walk-in. That's some shit that'll send you to walk-in angry. Be like, fuck, man. Like, I thought I was going to be out of here at like 8 o'clock tonight. Y'all could I don't mind.
Yeah.
I come to work and make money, but it would have just been nice to know that there was a 200-person party coming in the fucking
And now I'm in the walk-in smoking my vape.
Hey, about to have like a little Wayne moment right
That's
now.
how it.
What's crazy about the vape is that you don't even really need the walk-in anymore. Like, dude, I saw a meme and it said smoking weed in like 95. Let's go 4 miles behind the Taco Bell in the woods. And it's like smoking weed in 2020. I'm just going to hit this vape in the middle of Target and shit like that.
Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Because by the time they find you, you're in the fucking electronics department.
It's not like a joint where the smell sticks around. A vape, I mean, you smell it for like a second. You're like, I smell weed. Maybe I didn't. I thought I smelled weed, So.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot of tools. I'm just trying to every shitty thing I've gone through in life are positive. You just try and take something. You try and take positive out of every shitty situation.
So what do you find rewarding about what you're doing now with Angels Envy and not actually being behind the pond as much as you used to and not manage it as much? It's pretty much you're working for yourself.
I don't want to say I'm working for myself. I obviously have bosses and people call the shots above me.
For sure.
But what's great about it is the creativity that that it allows you to have. You kind of submit events to Bacardi. Bacardi owns Angels Envy. They bought us in 2016 or 17, I believe.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
So we're up there with like
News to me.
Grey Goose, Patron, Douce, Doers, like Martini and Rossi Vermouth, obviously all the Bacardi products, Banks Rum. There's a whole portfolio of products that are involved, and Angels Envy's their bourbon, and they really allows you to be creative and like you submit events to Bacardi going, hey, I want to do an Angels Envy camping trip, or I want to do an Angels Envy animal like homeless animal drive. Like
I'm so sorry for oversleeping. What was it, last year for the animal thing?
Oh, the rare event.
Yeah.
That was my first event I did with Angels Envy. That was
I'm
my
so sorry for
very
missing
first.
that, man.
That was my very first thing I ever did. Man, speaking of that event, we went and volunteered with homeless dogs. Some of these dogs had 3 legs. Some of them were blind. They were beaten, burned. I mean, just the worst you could think of an animal. And we went and volunteered and cleaned out cages and played with them. And it's cool stuff like that where you submit that event to Angels Envy and they're like, this is awesome. Yeah, here's some money. Go do that. So it allows you to be creative. I've done like river cleanups where we've rented boats on Percy Priest, and we went out there and cleaned up trash off islands. And you still incorporate Angels Envy while you're on the boat. You're making cocktails, and I did like Angels Envy blinkers, and I did a staff tasting on an island at like sunset with like the tawny finish, which is like a $300 bottle.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so like you're still incorporating the brand, and you still want to make the brand the focus, but it really allows you to be really creative with what you do. It lets your passion just. I'm so passionate about to this day about what I do with this brand, and I couldn't imagine not. I couldn't imagine not having this job. I don't know what I would.
No, I've seen your events, man. You're doing a lot. You're doing not even just being for yourself. You're pretty much doing it for everybody else around you.
Yeah, and you want to do cool events. Like, all right, I want to take bartenders out. Like, we don't just want to go to. We went to Rosemary the other day.
Yeah.
But you don't want to just go, hey, let's just go to Rosemary and Beauty Queen. We came there after we invented Humane Society.
Oh,
We'd been at the
shit.
Humane Society that day for Puppy Day, and we cleaned like
I love the Humane Society.
we
man.
do cool stuff like that. And
Which one were you at?
the one off White Bridge.
Okay, man. Crazy story about that place. When I used to work with mentally challenged people, we used to take them to that Humane Society and let them walk dogs.
What'd you do with mentally challenged people?
I was a DSP, man. Fuck you, Clay. But no, I was a direct support professional, man. So pretty much I was like a caregiver, man. Like I pretty much worked more than 8 hours, but I would sit with these guys and cook for them, sometimes bathe them, give them medications. So I did that for a while, man. But yeah.
What made you want to stop doing that?
That shit sucks. And it's not, I mean, I was working with a different demographic of mentally challenged people. And it was very challenging, man. Like,
That's rewarding though. At the end of the day, though, maybe it was a shitty job, but it had to be rewarding though.
I mean, some parts of the job were rewarding. Actually, man, crazy story about that shit, man. I almost got killed at that job by a dude, man. Like, motherfucker charged me with a knife. Yeah.
So mentally challenged, you're not so much. I don't know if this is an appropriate word, and I don't mean any offense if it's not, but like retarded or like
like schizophrenic by supreme bipolar disorder.
Okay.
Just people that just not there in the head, and like the demographic that I dealt with were they were actually sex offenders, so that made it a even weirder type of situation for me, man. So
like with like minors and stuff like that. Fuck them. Fuck you. No offense. Man,
but you know, you going into that, man, you know, abusers are usually abused, you know, and then with them having like mental disorders, man, so you can be mad at them for the things that they did, but it's like somebody before you was way more fucked up, you know. So
I understand. You try to be sympathetic. That's a little hard to be sympathetic about, but I get it.
But if you know Vic, I would have never thought to have like seen you in that role ever, bro. Like when we first started living together, he told me he was doing this, and I'm like, fuck out of here. No, you're not.
That's a lot of energy also, like to put into like that job. I was a CNA for a little minute.
Dude,
and that was why I was pregnant with Parker. Like,
but there's no pay in that industry, man. That's an industry that gets shitted on, man. Mental health field, man. I was getting paid maybe $11 an hour to do that shit, man.
To take care of
a whole person,
grown ass people.
I mean,
no, like it's you and one other person taking care of 15 residents. Bro,
I used to live with this guy.
That's a lot of throwing.
I used to clean up after him.
I'm gonna purposely throw myself out of my bed repeatedly in one night because I want you to come pick me up.
I mean, yes, that's that mental health thing.
No bullshit though, man. Like that job translated so well when I came back to the restaurant industry, though, man, because I had long patience. You know, like I can deal with. A customer would pretty much have to swing on me for me to like get mad. So
I can see that.
I'm with you. And I guess maybe going back to the walk-in, that may be why I don't have too many crazy stories, because I've always been able to. Not always. When I was a young kid, I got in a lot of trouble with my anger. But since I was like 17, 18, I've really been able to handle my anger. So I didn't go to the walk-in.
You just got crazy patience.
You would just, man, I would just realize, like, bartending, I know we all get angry, I get it. People suck, they piss us off. But it's something maybe you can't teach, but you're just like, man, I didn't have a reason to go into the walk-in a lot because I could just blow it off. Like, that guy's just an asshole. Fuck him. Like, you'll never see that guy. When people get mad, you're like, you'll never see that guy, especially here in Nashville. You're like, you'll never see that guy lives in Omaha, Nebraska. You're never going to see that guy.
He hates his wife, too.
Fuck him. Don't let him ruin your night because some prick from Columbus, Ohio wants to come down here and act like a fucking asshole. Fuck him. Like, don't let him ruin the next 6 hours of your life because he tipped you 1 on 100. I mean, that's
we're talking to you, Chad.
Yeah, Chad and Tad and Brad and Thad and whatever the fuck his name is.
It's so much easier to escape to a walk-in though, but whenever you're busy and you can't control your emotions anymore, and your ass ends up like breaking down behind the bar.
Yeah, it happens.
That's the ugly truth. Like.
It really happens.
No. I'm trying to hold these tears back real fucking quick. I'm just real stressed. And there's a lot of you motherfuckers in here. And my team ain't my team today. Like, everybody's fucking, like, off. And I'm about to lose my shit. Help! And then it's just, like, fucking, like, chunky-ass tears coming down. Like, what is happening? No.
Yeah, going back, I mean, just controlling your anger. I mean, like, people are going to piss you off in this industry. It's got to happen at Rosemary. That's a cool bar, but you guys still got to get assholes in there. Probably not like Broadway, but...
You would think, man. I mean, you got to realize the age and time that we're in now is you have 21-year-olds who turned 21 in 2020 and didn't get to experience a real 21st birthday. So now, and you got pretty much a whole generation of those people, you know, they don't know how to act in a bar. You can't expect them to know how to act in a bar.
Everything has to be documented on some social media platform. Like,
I'm at the point.
Get your hair, like, let's do this. Like, everything's just all
nobody's living in the moment.
Right.
Guilt. We're all guilty of that.
And I mean, we do it for, you know, certain reasons, but they just do it because, you know, they want to be seen and they want people to
see them
being out. Yeah. But it's like I'm at the point to where I don't trust anybody that didn't grow up with dial-up internet.
No, but you saw AOL or something
like
that.
Yeah. If you ain't never had an AOL account, you was never in the chat rooms. I can't really trust you.
What was the noise it would make? It'd be like beep.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah. It took you at least 30 seconds to get online.
30 seconds. You had good internet.
Pick up the phone.
You had the good internet.
No, I had AOL.
If somebody picks up the phone,
but if somebody picks it up,
lost.
you're done.
Mom, I'm on the computer.
You know it.
I don't care who you was talking to.
I don't give a fuck. Get off my phone. I'm trying to I gotta make a call.
Hey, I just got a text from Corey.
Oh, fucking A. Tell them I said what up.
Tales from the walk-in. Nice. Tell them I said hello.
Hell yeah.
Oh, what up, Corey?
Corey. Love that guy, man.
Corey. Which one?
Hozat. I don't know if you know. I don't know if Vic knows.
You do know Angels in Victoria.
Maybe.
Everybody knows.
I think I do.
Corey, we're out here talking about you. I don't know
was he on the boat with us?
Yeah, he was on the boat with y'all. That was Angels Envy thing.
I remember going to an Angels Envy event. It was Corey.
Was there. Yeah.
I want to say he was driving the damn boat too.
You guys must be doing something right because he knew Tales from the Walk-In. Like,
word.
Tight.
How long you guys been doing this?
You're our 6th episode.
But we've only launched 3.
Oh, wow.
We've been doing it for like a month.
Where do you launch them at?
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music.
Do you not follow me?
I know I do. I'm sorry, man. I stay really busy.
Clayton is a very busy man.
I know what this is. I just didn't realize it was.
It's
I thought it was
thing.
maybe like iHeartRadio or something.
It's
I didn't realize it was.
It's everywhere.
That's great. That's all. Shit. I would have. I hope I've come off professionally, but if I haven't, forgive me.
This is also not about being professional. This is like you're let loose and like, you know.
This is far from professional.
Be free.
Dude, and we know you, man. Come on, man.
I know, but like I'm gonna post this like, hey, I was on this cool show today, and my mom's gonna go listen and be like, what? Like I'm like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, why are you?
Listen,
my mom's like, why are you cussing so much?
Also, just don't listen to episode 2, Mom.
Mom, never mind. I'm not gonna talk about Clayton's mom.
No, that's cool, man. I didn't realize it was.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
cool, man. Good for you guys. So what made you guys want to start this? I had to ask. I know it's y'all show. You should be asking questions, but
I don't know. It was kind of an idea he started with, and then we kind of rebutted on my idea that I had in the past, and she's the homie. I feel like they were talking about it more before I got involved, but yeah, it just came together at the right time.
I liked you the minute you walked into Butchertown, man.
Appreciate that.
You just vibe with people, man. You know, like
Appreciate it.
instantly, man. You can just get vibes with people.
I try.
Yeah, man.
I try. I'm mad you left me hanging by myself, but it's all good. You know, we're still homies.
Yeah, of course, man. Man, I try not to have. Man,
we put a dent in that mother.
joke about that bottle.
This is what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this is
this is what we do, man.
That's great. Yeah, that's
this is why we're here. We'll bring you back for part 2.
no. This is fantastic. This is a lot of fun, man.
We'll
This
bring
is,
you back for some more.
I like how you used saturated earlier about the market. Yes, I've been saying it for a while. I'm like, it's oversaturated.
even bars, like
Yeah.
not just so much like tonight. This Blade and Bow
Right.
event I went to was fantastic. But there were 3 different people there that were like, "Hey, there's an industry happy hour tonight at like E3 at Henry James," and you just realize you're like, "Dude, I can't." You're like, I can't go to. I
And
can't
it's
go to
Monday.
Right.
Did
that.
it.
And
It's
it's
only
not-
one me.
Right. And it's also not like, it's like, well, they're all 3 like within like 5 to 10 minutes of each other. No, this shit is like literally all over the place. And I'm like, hell no.
But man, it's COVID. It's all
I know,
COVID related because.
But we also turn into monsters whenever we start on the east side.
Oh yeah.
And then we fucking travel.
Yeah.
Ubers now are like $30 to
Yeah,
take an
Exactly.
Uber anywhere.
I was just talking about that.
Exactly. Because like we'll start off, like we all live on the east side.
Yeah.
And then we'll start one place. Then the next thing I know, we're all the way at motherfucking Flamingo.
But you know, but the thing about it though, man, Flamingo does something very cool on Mondays, man. Shout them out because they are dope as fuck over there, man. Marcus is fucking with them over there, and they do.
Marcus died.
Marcus died. But nah, you know, they on Monday nights they do the what is it called? It's called
You talking about the guest
the
guest
guest bartender, man.
Are they still doing that now?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was sexy.
That's
Whenever
pretty
we went,
cool.
yeah.
yeah, that's tight, right? You know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about, like Nashville sticking together,
What was
man.
his name?
like,
Trey?
no, that was
what was his name? I'm sorry.
Derek Diggs, I
I'm
believe.
sorry.
Oh, he does. Derek. He does. What's it over on Buchanan Street now?
Willie
Yeah,
B's.
Willie B's.
Willie B's.
Yeah.
He has a
Yeah,
sexy
yeah.
ass shake, and the way he pops the fucking like I was like,
Oh, with his
yes.
forearm.
I'm like,
Yeah,
ooh,
Yeah,
it
he's pretty cold with
it's
that.
sexy.
I gotta
sexy as
figure that one
It
out.
was sexy as shit. Like I'm not. I was like, let me go ahead and record this.
It's like crack.
But
I
you
seen him when he was at the I think the cigar bar. It's Red Phone Booth.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
never been.
I think that's where he was working at when I first met him.
Yeah, he seems legit, man. I don't know him that well, but I met him and he's always been solid every time I've seen him. So like,
No,
man,
he's-
I fucks with him.
He's legit, and if I'm not mistaken, he's from Memphis.
But yeah, you are. It's oversaturated with bars. It's once again not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing. It's just it's another thing going back to Angel's Envy. It's tricky to do events because you know there's always something going on. Like well, it's Angel's Envy tonight, but then tomorrow night's Maker's Mark doing this, and Jack Daniel or Brown Foreman or George.
everybody-
Always really good with George Dickel. Like he does cool stuff. you know,
Everybody
so-
lost money last year, so you gotta expect it's gonna be oversaturated for a while because
Yeah.
those companies are trying to put as much money back so they can make what they lost in 2020. So every night for the Roaring 20s, 1920s, that shit happened, man. I'm sure it was shit going on everywhere, because the pandemic happened. What?
The 1918. The
Yeah.
Spanish flu. Yeah, that's
So,
true.
You think about it that way.
Think about the
And
20s,
I'm pretty sure.
everybody banging each other.
Fuck it.
I think about the oversaturation to the point where is a lot of people like jumping into the industry and they don't appreciate it and don't look at it for the value and the profit that they could like actually make from it anymore. And it's really disturbing and sad to me because
Those people are learning. They stick
know
around
I
and
mean,
learn.
right? Not all of those people. A lot of people are just like, oh no, I can go do this and just like make like
I feel like those are
I
the
can make a lot of money, or I can make enough money just to get by because they got mommy and daddy still taking care of a lot of shit,
Yeah.
and
there's a
so
lot of
then
that.
you're not, but
the young ones.
right, you're not just fucking up your own money, you're fucking up my money now because now people don't want to come back here. They may have enjoyed a great experience from like one of us,
But you were fucking shit.
right? And they're just like, what the fuck was that?
And it's like I hate that. I feel like I work with, or maybe used to work with. We're not gonna.
Look at you, mess ass.
Anyway, They're only working for to probably pay that bar tab at the end of the night.
Real talk. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think that, man, jobs are for whatever you need a job for, man. Shit, if you want to work a job to pay a bar tab, fuck it. Just take pride in the job you do.
Anything
Yeah.
you're doing, man, just take pride. Absolutely.
And that's the thing though.
Don't
They
taint the place I'm working for.
A bunch of these like kids like don't appreciate.
Think,
I'm not gonna be doing this. I'm not gonna be doing this forever.
but think of the
That's
kid.
fine. You don't have
Cool.
to.
But we all
Don't.
said that shit. We all said
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, man,
if-
all of us
But-
have. All of us.
We're in it.
But treat it like you should.
But think about the kid that thought he was gonna have to like just hustle on the side or do illegal things to get by, and just because of this situation, because everybody's hiring. Now this kid can be like, man, shit, I'm gonna slide in the cracks, and if I know how to maneuver, next thing you know, you can be making some money when when the bubble bursts after this COVID shit, man, we're all gonna be rolling in like dope.
Oh yeah.
Let's go back to Tomcats and Tom Morales. He hires people out of prison to work at the Southern.
Facts.
Like when or maybe even Acme, but
I didn't know that.
When I was the bar manager at the Southern, we would get I forget the house, maybe a halfway house, I believe is what it's called. And we would get busboys, dishwashers, and some of them moved up to be barbacks, and they were some of the hardest working dudes I've ever met. And
Fucking right.
they just made a mistake, man. Like like, dude, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like I went to jail for 5 years for this shit.
That's
You
what I'm
can't
saying. I
blame-
fuck with Tom, man.
Normal
'cause,
people, man. They fucked up and they were in the
dude,
wrong
when I
place
worked
one
at
time.
Fucking right.
Finn and Pearl, because he did the same thing at
Yeah,
Finn and Pearl.
it's
We
great,
had
man.
dudes that had went to jail, got out of jail, and they were oyster shuckers. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you got a person that is learning shit about oysters and being able to like actually. I've seen some dudes really get engulfed in it and then go on to do bigger and better things, man.
Being re-educated.
Learning about something new and then actually thinking like, damn, nigga ain't never eat oysters, and now you win the opportunity now to like.
You mean there's East Coast and West Coast?
So I watched one of those guys. His name was Andrew Fromm, and he was at the Southern, and he came in from a halfway house. Was the nicest dude, so polite. He would call me sir, which was the weirdest shit ever. He'd say yes sir. I was like, please don't ever fucking call me sir. And I watched him go from a dishwasher, busboy, barback, and then he left the Southern to go be like a real estate agent. So that dude went to prison for some shit.
That's dope.
And then it's to this day, he's probably a real estate agent, and it's all because somebody like Tom, he just helped him out.
That
man.
sounds like a Disney movie.
So we're talking about the restaurant people not giving a shit, but then there's some that really
They actually do.
The guy was like, "I've never worked at a restaurant."
This is
my whole life."
opportunity, let me see where I can expand. That is a question that I had in the talking points. How has this industry expanded your palate? A lot. Clearly, from where you started,
Yeah,
food,
and
beverage,
drinks.
Food and drink.
and also behavior, and I'm I say behavior, like how you act and how you treat your server or your bartender,
100%.
whenever, how has this helped mold you a lot? I mean, clearly, you've taken off from where you first started.
Oh, I can't even remember the last time I complained about anything, even though it might have worded complaining. And it's tricky because you're like, maybe the manager does need to know that this isn't right, but I'm not going to be the one to fucking tell them because I'm not asking for the manager. Everything's fine. They didn't refill my drink. They didn't ask if I wanted anything. I still tip 20%. I tip, if you give me good service, I'm tipping you 50%.
Right.
But you could give me the shittiest service in the world. I'm still tipping
You still getting
Fucking
20.
right.
You
Just-
still
it
getting
is,
20.
man.
Off top.
It's 20%, man. It's just
But
one
you know,
part.
man, niggas have bad days. But
Jesus tipped 20%.
did he?
That'd be a good t-shirt.
Jesus paid it all.
That'd be a really good T-shirt or a sticker to put behind your door. So, but you're right. Your palate wise too. Sometimes I'll be at and Angel's Envy's made me maybe a little bit of a snob when you were talking about a bar snob earlier. It's not that I'm snobby, but now I'd rather go to Henrietta Red or I'd rather go to a place like that than I would Neighbors or something because I'm like, man, these chicken
Still
wings.
love Neighbors,
I
though.
do, but
Still
you eat a cheesesteak and you're like, I don't want this shit. I want some oysters from Henrietta Red. Fuck this shit, man.
What is this, Cisco?
Then your ass should have went to Henrietta Red instead of coming here, sir. I'm sorry.
But now you notice though you're eating
Right.
You're drinking nice bourbon, you're drinking nice wine, which when you were 18, 19, I didn't drink at that age. It took me a minute to start drinking. But you used to just drink Yellowtail. Now you're like, oh, this wine's like, I'm not a som by any means, but you drink a nice glass of wine. You're like, oh, I taste these notes in it. I taste these notes in bourbon. When you were 25 years old, you just drank bourbon and shot it. You didn't give a fuck what you were drinking.
Kentucky Tavern.
Damn,
Kentucky
bro, you
Gentleman.
make me feel so fucking old right now.
But now you're like,
So fucking old.
you'll taste a sip of bourbon and be like, oh, I taste the vanilla and the spiced cherry and the oak and that's your palate.
Yeah. I mean, but
Expand that
it's
shit.
going to like sit like asking for a manager. I will never ask for a manager, but if I go to a steakhouse and like I don't get what I want, like as far as like I like my steak medium rare. If that shit comes out medium well, it's got to go back,
That's
man.
fair.
I mean, I figure like you should get what you pay for.
And there's a nice way to do it. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to be a jerk, but hey, I do want. You're right. If you're getting like a $60 steak, you're
Yeah, like
absolutely
hey,
right, man.
yeah, man. Like so.
But if you go to the right steakhouse, they do it right.
I mean, but people have bad days, man. Bad days happen. Things happen. This could be the only person on the line having to work saute, having to work the grill and the fry because something weird that went
For
down
sure.
in the back,
And that's usually your
that's usually what
your main
chef.
chef. It better be the HNIC back there.
But shoot, man, he's probably doing the expo line.
Well, he's gonna have to do it all.
Yeah.
Was that a Lean On Me reference? I think that was a Lean On Me reference.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
HNIC?
Yeah, that's what he, in the Lean On, the Morgan Freeman when he was the principal, man. That's what he called
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
That's
Nice,
funny.
nice reference on that, man. That's,
Oh, yeah.
that's a great movie, by the way. So.
But there is a topic, or like we want to start introducing segments into our podcast to where you're not running your mouth the whole time, or whoever's in that seat is running their mouth the whole time. So we was talking about it the other day. We're gonna call it 86. So it's pretty much what you would not like to see in the service industry as a whole.
Shit that
anymore.
needs to be fucking 86. Like get the
Anything
fuck
that
out of
needs
here
to just go the fuck away forever
and never come back.
and never come
You
back.
mean like attitude wise, or
Just
once again, this is a whole
everything.
different show. I'd love to. You guys remember me when that happens because I would love to come like. I wish I had more. Let's go back to the walk-in. I know that's what the show's about.
Yeah, we still here.
I wish I had-
we never left.
Clayton
I wish I
Kidd,
had-
no bullshit, man. The name is Tales from the Walk-In, and we definitely want to know about that. But man, the show is about you, man. The show is about
I don't have
giving you your flowers, man. You've been in the game for so fucking long, and like, how many times have like you ever been able to tell your story, man? Like, people know that you do this. You've been bartending in the city forever. Now you're Angel's Envy, man. Like, your name and Angel's Envy goes hand in hand right now. But like,
That's crazy to me. That's you're right though. I guess it is like Clayton from Angel's Envy at this point. That's a
Yeah,
little
bro.
weird, yeah.
People know you, baby.
That's weird. That's crazy.
You're a hot commodity out here in
Oh,
Nashville.
man, that's humbling. Thank you. I don't try. I mean, I don't have that type of.
No, you don't have to try because you're you.
I don't have that type of
That's
attitude about it.
that's what makes it beautiful. Like
that's
you're
nice to
just
hear, man.
you.
That's nice to hear, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
for sure, bro. But back to 86. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's a
What
great
the
idea.
fuck do
Mike.
you want to see rid of? Like, we was talking about it last week, and I was like, you know what? I want an 86 LITs.
I make a good LIT.
I don't give a fuck how good you make your LIT.
You ever had a?
I'm not trying to touch.
LIT made like crafty.
Isn't that the?
I'm not trying to touch 6 fucking bottles to make you one goddamn
isn't
drink.
that the customer more than you can't really control what the customer's going.
You can't control the customer, but
I thought you meant more of like.
we're 86 in it. So if you was to get anything in the restaurant industry world, what would it be? Me, LITs, they don't exist. Nobody's ever heard of them. So I don't have to make another one in my lifetime. So what would you get rid of?
I don't like the. I don't know if you could get rid of it, but I don't like the schedule coming out a day before it starts type shit. Man.
That shit should be 86.
I need at least a
that's
week.
Not cool, man. Dude, Butchertown, I'd have that thing 3 weeks ahead of time.
I don't want my schedule a day before. Like no.
3 weeks, like 2 weeks.
Because now I mean, see, right?
I'm trying to go voting next week. How am I supposed to plan on that, man?
Like at Rosie, man. Like I mean, my schedule was 4 days straight, 3 days off, and that only thing that changed is what time I went in. I knew what days they were, like, and you need that. And that shit was out a month in advance.
You're trying to have a life too. You're like, somebody hits you up like, hey, you want to go kayaking Wednesday? And my schedule's now pretty set. Obviously, I'm making my own essentially, but I'm just going back to when I was full blown restaurant.
Yeah.
I would say the hours. This is an unpopular opinion because I know that's when we make our money as bartenders. But I just don't see any good in bars being open till 2 a.m. Nothing fucking good comes out of it, man. It doesn't.
I mean,
I know it's unpopular opinion, and I get that, but fuck, man.
I get where you're coming from, but also, we've been here for a minute. So is that? I mean, because I agree with you, but is that us starting to get old? Because
maybe.
Because
Us-
come on, man.
I mean, we got
Some
spoiled.
22-year-olds like I'll be at work till 3 a.m. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
You're right.
I don't think it
you're
has to
right.
do with us being old. I honestly feel like
It's
the
definitely us getting old.
Well, also the pandemic spoiled the fuck out of us. Like closing at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Not those kids. Those motherfuckers
it
were.
did for me. I was working 14.5-hour shifts from open to close at Crow, and then closing at 11.
There was a whole fashion house party during the pandemic,
Listen,
and it looked fun.
and
I
it
just didn't
did-
go because I'm too
yeah.
old to go. I was
No,
that shit looked fucking
I'm
fun.
being cautious. It's like
Unpopular opinion. It did look fun.
it did. You're not wrong. Y'all are not wrong. Okay,
It did look fun.
it looked great, but it wasn't a thing for us at the time. Fun
Somebody was eating ass by a window.
The
Fucking
singer,
window.
The singer for Attila, man. That was the singer for a metal band.
That's lit.
Are we still talking about 86 and things?
I mean,
I don't want to.
This conversation is stemmed from 80-16. One of the things was 2
To
a.m.
69.
Well, one of the things was a 2 a.m. curfew. You're like, it's just late. I mean,
That's us.
why does a bar need to
That's
be open
us
3
getting.
a.m.?
That is us
3
getting
a.m.
old, man. Because if you would have told you that at 21. Just because when you were young,
Yeah.
the city stayed open till 3, and you
Yeah.
got old, you want to close at 1 o'clock. Fuck you, old
You're
man.
right. You're right. You're right.
I was cool with closing
I
at
would
10.
like to 86 taking a shot that everybody knows the name of and giving it a different name, and then when people come to your city and come to your bar, they're like, "Oh, can I get a Red Rover?" And you're like, "What the fuck is that?
fuck is that?
It's a shot. You should know that." What?
And it's really like a redheaded slut.
Right,
It's like
and
a
I'm like,
redheaded slut
and I'm
or
like,
something.
oh, and they're like,
Hey man, can I get a 16 and eighth? Like what?
Let me get a Demumbrian.
No.
Could you learn? No.
I also don't like the whole Grubhub food to go because those people will take up your time to pick up food and they don't tip, but
You
yet
don't get paid for
but
it.
then they're delivering food and expecting a tip. Like those people from
Yeah.
Grubhub are expecting to get
So
a
you
$5
talking about
tip, but they ain't
Grubhub,
gonna tip you.
Uber Eats,
No, that,
Postmates.
fuck all that. All that shit needs to go, man.
Well, that's something that
It needs to go.
their industry needs to talk about that. But that's one thing that just came on the scene.
That needs
Maybe
to
in the
go.
last 7 to 8 years.
They take
It's
like,
ri-
they
it's
take
ri-
like 30. They make more than they
Yeah,
make
they
more
make
than
more
the
money,
food
yeah.
than the restaurant
It's
does, man.
ridiculous.
Fuck them.
They get
need to
no.
go.
The restaurant usually gets no
No
money.
money.
And it's always the most antisocial person picking it up. They come up to you with their head down and they just go.
Damn, y'all make me feel bad.
They just show you their phone. They don't say anything.
I used to
like-
do that.
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right?
Okay,
out
so
there.
if you did
But-
that, why is it they don't tip, but they want to get a tip?
Who don't tip? Dude? You
Like
talking
when
about
the
but
Uber
the-
Eats people pick it up. Or
The Uber
Grubhub.
Eats,
Oh.
Uber Eats gratuity should be added
So-
into that for the restaurant off
there we
top.
go, there we
Off
go.
top.
Yeah.
It
The
should
restaurant
be,
should
but I'm gonna
have
tell you why they don't tip because they give you a card. So the only thing that's on the card is the amount that's expected to be paid for.
And that's
So-
fucked up as a company, though.
So yeah,
As a
it's
company, that's
it's like
fucked
a
up.
company's
So
card.
that's on the
It's not a
company then.
personal
Oh,
thing.
okay, that's on the company.
Because I would love to leave
but-
people like 15,
but think about
20%,
it,
you
you-
know,
you-
just because I'm picking up food. But
Okay. That makes sense. That at least
Yeah,
somebody's
no.
explained. That's the
no,
first
I
thing
got you.
somebody's
It's a company. thing.
You're a guardian for Angels Envy, which is a company. They give you a company card.
Mm-hmm.
When you go in there and you buy rounds for the bar on the company card, you are allotted to spend however much percent of that tab is to take care of the people at the bar. It should be the same way with like Uber
Maybe
Eats.
the person that started it doesn't. Maybe has not worked in the restaurant.
I feel like Angel's Envy, it would come back
Clearly.
if you didn't tip. like if you didn't tip, it would get word of like, yo, man,
Like the fuck?
that guy's always coming in here and Angel's Envy's never tipping. So I think like if you didn't tip Angel's Envy, you'd get in trouble for not tipping almost over tipping.
You should. I hope you listen to Uber.
So
Postmates,
yeah, Uber Eats,
Grubhub.
fuck yourselves for being greedy, first of all, but second of all, you should allow 15% to tip.
People are gonna hear this.
Yeah.
Let
So-
me make money off of you delivering food that has nothing to do with me, but
Well,
I'm gonna get
at least
everybody.
help, like, because you're just adding stress onto the kitchen, man. Like, if it's a busy night at a
Yeah.
restaurant, man,
Yeah.
And
these
also,
kitchen
like-
cats
And then you
already
got
got
30,
enough
40
going
orders
on.
coming in outside of
The
what's
kitchen,
in the
and
I mean,
you're
I
not
have to
getting
stress on,
paid
like,
for that?
anybody who has to enter that shit in. Also, like, there's
no bullshit. That gratuity should actually go to the kitchen
Right.
and to the back of the house, man. It should.
Or like maybe make a separate Uber Eats menu for every restaurant and
For
charge
sure.
$1 more. Like, okay, the tacos at Butchertown are $11.99.
All right, we're
Guess what?
saying
Uber
we're
Eats
saying
are
too much. Like our next few ideas, we're gonna keep to ourselves. Okay. Cool.
We'll actually talk about this. I'd love to be on that show.
We'll talk about this off air.
This is a whole rabbit hole. You could go down a whole. You could go down a whole rabbit hole.
Because no,
86.
like we've had a couple of money making ideas on the episode already. So
Yeah, man. I'm still with that.
The swingers ball.
No, dude, the headphone sex.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The swingers
man.
ball. That's
the
what I'm
silent
talking about.
disco,
The silent disco sex party.
sex party. All right, we're not gonna talk about that anymore. either.
Wow. off air. When this is
Off
done,
air.
when this is done, I want to know. I want to know where this was going.
Told you, man, it's gonna become the $1 million walk-in after Tales from the walk-in.
That silent disco shit's a trip. You'll go in a room, it's all quiet, but everybody's
Hey, motherfucker, it's just
robot and shit. Like that dude's just doing the robot by himself in the middle of the floor.
Fucking
man, with some
right.
But it's a
headphones
chick in the corner, Harlem shaking. What the fuck is going on? Right?
It's gonna be like that episode of Chappelle Show where like,
Yeah.
yeah. The guy
shows
just
up randomly.
rose through. I like the way everybody's doing the fucking movie right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Shit, man. Hey, Clayton, I got a question, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Which Clay?
Clayton.
Oh, Clay.
Well, it's Clay Bond. It's just a B that separates us. A B
That's
and a T.
true. That's
Touche.
true. And
Touche.
B's sound like T's.
B sounds like
So T's
Touche,
sound
my
like B's.
brother.
But
he's strong back.
man, when did you know that you fell in love with this shit, man?
Oh man, I remember bussing tables in high school at Tony Romo's, picking up rib bones and
Tony.
It was
Tony
Romo's.
Romo?
It was like a rib joint,
Like rib and pasta, right?
Yeah, it was like ribs and pasta and
ribs
steak.
and
So
pasta.
the actual Tony Romo.
Well, that's just what the restaurant was called.
Oh, so not that quarterback.
Oh yeah, they were Tony. You're talking about.
That-
This was Tony. Excuse me. This was called Tony Roma's.
Oh,
that
Tony
Roma's
Roma's.
Tony
with that
Roma's,
A.
yes.
It's like ribs and pasta.
Tony Roma. You're talking about
Oh
Dallas.
no, he
No,
could.
I'm
have
just saying,
fucking
no,
right.
it was
And
It was
I
ribs and
remember,
pastas.
I remember bussing tables for nothing, and all of a sudden you see a server counting money one night, and I'm like, "You made all that shit one night?" Like at the time, $200, man, to like a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid. You're like, "I made $200 in one night," and so I started serving. And then after serving, I was sitting at the bar one night, and I saw the bartender counting like $400 or $500, and I was like, "That's it." I was like, "Man," and I loved. I knew I didn't go to college.
That's the one.
I wasn't good in school. I was like, "I'm never going to go to college. That's not my shit. That's not for me." I knew that early on. I love money. I wanted to make money, and I just like I guess my personality just fit this industry. You know, like I love talking to people. I was always the one at the table that was like, "I should probably shut up. I'm talking these people's ears
But
off."
people are eating that shit up.
You know,
Yeah.
so I guess the personality, the money, the family, when you get involved in restaurants, just like you guys are at Rosemary, your family, you become family with those people that you work with. And so many things came into just being like, I love this industry. I'll always be in this
Building
industry.
your regulars is key.
Well,
Yeah.
having an
Always be
honest relationship with your regulars, man. Like regulars that become like homies, man. It's, that family, like it extends, man. It's that 6 degrees of separation, but it's really like 4.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that shit too, man.
It's the family aspect. The money's great. Let's not bullshit. We've all made ridiculous amounts of money doing this before.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nights.
Where is it?
There's nights. Broadway Brew House.
We know where it is.
I know.
Yes.
I know a couple thousand of mine's at Broadway Brew House.
Jesus
I don't know
Christ.
how much.
I think I'm pretty well spread out across the city.
Yeah. But just the environment, the money, the atmosphere. I guess you're right. Go back to the hours, man. Like when I was 28, you're right, man. You nailed it. We're just getting old. But when I was 28, I was like, man, I'm out till like 3 a.m. meeting girls, and yeah, I mean, you're right, man. Just the so
But
many
it's-
aspects of it. You're
Bruh.
social. You're meeting women. You're not even women. I mean, you're meeting guy friends. I met some of my best guy friends through being at a bar.
You know,
that aren't
like-
even not even guy friends, like damn, they're brothers. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely, man. 100%.
Like my boy Jules, you remember Jules?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was the one that introduced me into the whole service industry. We talked
Really?
about it before. Yeah, I met him downtown. I think it was at Buffalo Billiards, and he was a manager somewhere
See-
down there. And he told me I should take a serving job, so I did. And
there it is.
I mean, shit.
You guys got
Cheers.
something. You guys got the beginnings of something here, man.
Hey.
From an outsider standpoint, man.
You gotta be lying on air.
No, man. Like, I know we're on radio and you can't see, but like, I could see this being something that expands and being like, remember, like 6 years ago, we did that shit in that space out on Dickerson Road, and you're
Yep.
like, yeah, I mean, like, this is a great idea, man. Like,
Thanks,
you,
man.
man.
Thanks, man.
God bless
Thank you.
again.
I'm serious,
you.
man. This is awesome. Man.
Thank
You
you.
guys really got like the beginnings of something.
I mean, it's
appreciate
this
it.
is you on a whole bottle. This is us on a whole bottle of tequila.
Ew.
No, I'm really not just saying that. I'm serious.
Right
Like,
now.
this is fucking great.
Bro, thank you, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Thank you.
that, dog. Like,
Thank you for
real.
coming.
No, dude, this
This is our fucking therapy. Like,
A
is.
threshold.
I feel like I kind of almost feel that way. You almost feel like
Yeah.
you're gonna walk out of here and be like, I feel like I just talked to like a psychiatrist or
right?
something like that.
Exactly. We don't get that in this industry
No.
at all.
It's awesome.
No.
Because most of us don't have fucking insurance.
No health care at all.
All right, so let's go back to the 86.
I feel
Yes.
Let's go back to the
Let's
86.
go back to the 86.
Yes.
I'll tell you what needs to be 86 is not giving your employees fucking health
Thank
insurance.
We
We
need that
need
shit.
that shit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Need
If
it.
just the
Especially
fucking
us.
on-call therapy or in-house therapist,
Something.
like sitting right there.
I mean,
fool.
okay, jobs.
And the 213 an hour has got to fucking go.
I am on the fence about that.
I'm not. It doesn't.
I'm
I'm not
on
saying.
the fence
I'm not
about
saying that it has to be 15. I'm not saying.
You should
but
get 5.
the-
You should pay your
right,
taxes.
Right.
Maybe, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I like
8.
the only reason that I normally don't have to pay in is because I have a child that I can claim.
I pay it.
Other-
I pay it every
right,
year.
But other than that, right?
How come it hasn't gone up? How come it's been 213 since like 1998?
Because they don't give a fuck
And we
about
doing
us.
way more motherfucking work.
And we're bringing in billions of
Wait.
dollars into your fucking cities across the country.
I mean, but we also kind of skipping out on taxes for
Just-
how much we
We used
actually
to.
Taking cash.
Now it goes on your check.
because it's credit card.
But
now,
it
man.
used to walk out with like $1,200 in cash. Now it's $100 in cash. And
Yeah.
But if you
800
just
on your
you can be
check.
like, yeah, sure,
you
I made
just-
$24,000 this year. Yep, sure. Yeah.
if you just look at the money, restaurants, bars, pubs, taverns, anything that contains alcohol and food, like what we bring in across the country, what else are you gonna do when you're traveling?
I mean, what I'm saying, because a lot of jobs offer insurance. Like Tom, we're bringing up Tom a lot.
You,
Man, it's
you
because
are
it's,
bringing
no,
up
it's
time.
it's the common
Well,
ground.
but yeah,
man.
it
It's
is
just-
our
it's a
common-
on this show. It's a common
Seems like you
ground.
got a little man crush.
No, dude.
That's so weird.
If you
Hey, Tom,
had,
hey.
if you had,
Hey Tom, hey,
if you
what's
had
up?
somebody from Tootsie's in here, you'd be bringing up Steve Smith or something. Like
Exactly.
That. It's just,
Sure.
it's how it is. You know?
But I feel like Tom has been a guy that's been
If we
taking
brought
care of his
somebody
fucking
in
people.
from Tootsie's,
He's
they're
been
gonna want to
taking-
have like a voiceover to where you can't like clarify their voice. No, I used to. That is the dark side. Like, I mean, hopefully we'll get there at one point.
We
Reach
will.
out. Reach
We
out.
will.
We got
We will.
you.
We'll
No,
find you, Tom.
But Tom I had insurance for a reasonable price with Tomcats. No
But
bullshit.
they offer it.
Yeah, and
Most
they
places
offer,
don't even
But see,
offer
now I don't know if mental health was included in it. I definitely think that
I feel
mental
like I would
health
put
needs
mental
to be.
health over everything else.
over
Mental
physical.
and dental.
It needs to be in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
understand why everything has to be like categorized like so much.
It should just
as
be
to-
in one category.
It should just be
Right.
insurance. If something's wrong with you,
Right.
like get it fixed.
Exactly. I
feel like Canada figured it out.
It's so broken down. Oh, we have to pay this much for this much for this. Like,
and Canada
you
lives in
only
the
get-
fucking cold weather for damn near 10.
That's why they got that.
Fucking
That's
months a year.
why
Also,
they
if
got that
there
free
are
health
any
insurance. It's
Canadians
cold.
listening, I'm looking for a Canadian sugar daddy.
Doesn't-
Or Canadian citizenship.
Doesn't it also take like 9 months in Canada to get like a doctor's appointment and shit though? Like,
Does it?
I could be wrong. Do not quote me on
I
this.
don't
But
know.
most of them
From what
aren't
I-
sick.
From what I understand,
I've never been to Canada.
From what I understand in Canada,
It's like
they
a great
do offer
insurance.
health insurance, but it's also like, yeah, the doctor can see what's today, like March 28th. Yeah, the doctor can see you like the week before Thanksgiving or something.
I mean, but that's better than not being able to go get seen at all.
Or just
Yeah,
go to
I mean,
Mexico
you're right.
because if
You're
you
right.
got cash, baby, they will fuck with you.
I told y'all that.
So, but I mean, you're right. Like, there should be some sort. I would say mental insurance at least, because we're all out of our fucking minds, man.
Yes.
Everybody,
We're all
you've got to
best.
be out of your mind.
You deal with
Yes.
multiple personalities.
You have
If
to be
you
out of your mind.
literally,
On the
if
second.
I've always said it like if you are in this industry more than 3 years, you're a psychopath
Yeah.
and you got a problem. Because you like the punishment.
You
that
like
go
this
through.
shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
you like
love
it.
this
You
shit.
like feeling
Yeah,
like shit.
I
that
love this shit. And it is more than any of the toxic
You
men
love
that
it.
I've ever dealt with in my life.
You love it.
Like
Your
literally,
job.
like I will come back to you. What?
Oh,
I
you
will-
want me to work a double? You
I
want me to
will come-
clopen?
I mean, like
I
they
was
said,
cloping
man,
for
we
you.
Me
man,
yesterday.
$86
we all kind of like abuse,
86
man.
clopens.
All of us kind of like abuse, man. The cloping, you kind of like fuck it. I mean, today, prime example, definitely abused the fuck out of myself. Worked yesterday, went in at 3:30, got off at 5, had to be right back there at 10 for a deep clean.
And I'm gonna pull the trump card because
Which Trump are you talking about?
I opened at noon, and I was there. I was scheduled until 4:30. I would stay there until 5:30. I had to go to my other job, doing the same shit.
That's the one.
Got there by 5:37 because I hopped and bopped across the fucking street
And
in
went
the
back
alleyway.
to your first job.
And literally worked until fucking 2 a.m.
You motherfuckers are
and
crazy.
fucking went back and opened and cleaned this morning.
Nah,
so
we
yes,
cleaned a lot of shit today.
I'm proud of y'all.
I swept the carpet.
Y'all deserve y'all feet
don't have a
rubbed and massages
Dude,
and
I
like
slept.
lava
Wow.
stones
Was it
and all of
filthy?
that shit.
Fuck all that. I'm just saying.
Isn't it
like,
always?
It's some kind of sickness that we have. Like
Yeah, it's weird as fuck, but you should go,
But no, man.
relax
I mean,
yourself.
I slept. I slept at work, man.
Clayton ain't got those
I have
problems.
not been home, and it's not because I like had a wild night. I got off work, slept at work, so I wouldn't be late, and it's because I like that abuse.
You don't have a dog or anything?
Nah,
Lucky
nah,
you.
it's just me. I mean,
I
but
have a kid, and
I know.
I've slept in my car. I've slept in my car multiple times at a previous
I got
place
a
that I
human.
worked, just because I was the closer and I had to open to do like inventory in my liquor order on that Monday morning at 6 a.m. That was the protocol.
Life is
That was-
rough.
Yeah, and I had that was me having a kid. I'm be like, I'm sorry,
But
mommy's not gonna
dude,
be home tonight.
what normal person can actually deal with that? Like most normal people that have regular jobs, they like be going to see a therapist and popping pills about it. It's like us. It's like
I'm
ah,
gonna
man,
say
it's-
60% of the population probably couldn't deal with it. I think we make up a good 40% of this
I'm
shit.
gonna pop
So-
the top off the bottle. That's the only thing I'm gonna pop. And
I mean, I
need
drank a lot.
mental
Yeah,
health.
exactly.
That's why we need
We
mental
know we
health
do.
insurance, man.
that's why we need that shit.
We know we
man.
do.
I
Dude,
wonder what the suicide rate is of like people in the service industry or in just booze related. I'm not saying booze is related to that, but I'm curious what the stats are on like, man, the more percentage of people that are involved in like,
I know
the
at
service
least
industry
2-3
kill themselves or
people in the last 2 years, personally. But
I've known more ODs. You know,
that's yeah. I mean, yeah,
you
that's
know?
that true too. Yeah.
well, yeah, this shit is well fucking needed.
Because you get to a point where you don't want to feel anymore, and it's
Yeah.
like, yep, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
But-
keep doing it, and because I'm
mean,
numb.
Admit to drinking on an insurance form though, and they'll deny you. That's what's
Right.
fucked
That's
up about
fucked
it. That's what's
up.
fucked up about
Or
it.
smoking tobacco.
Are we like be like I'll admit to smoking weed. I don't care, man.
I
smoke
actually
weed.
have health insurance right now, and it was only because of a good friend who is now selling insurance, and he coached me and helped me get my insurance, and I'm grateful for that.
Before we end, I need you to rank these for me, Clayton.
Okay.
From 1 being the most important to 4 being the least. Food, cocktails, service, ambience.
1. Oh, I see what you're. No, I'm sorry. I thought that was 1. I got you. Service.
Yes, come on,
service.
catfish.
Service number 1. People can have a shitty meal, a shitty cocktail, but they're always going to remember that bartender that was like, hey, remember that time we were at that bar? We had the worst fish, the worst glass of wine I've ever had, but remember how nice that fucking bartender was. Service, hands down, number 1. Food, number 2. Cocktails, number 3, because most people outside of our industry don't really know what a Sazerac's supposed to taste like, or they're not really supposed to know. They don't really know what a fucking aviation or a
they don't give a fuck either.
They don't care. They're going to drink it. So that's the only reason I put cocktails, not to take away from what we do as a living.
Touche.
And ambiance is important, but I mean, dude, I've been to some really shitty, smelly, stinky piss-ridden dive bars, and it
Had
has
the
a
greatest
lot.
time.
And
Loved
I've
it.
been back 20
Loved
times,
it.
and I've been
Fucking
back 20
right.
times. So that's why I justify. I think service is absolutely number one. Like if you give shitty service, it doesn't. You could have the best meal of your life, but if you have an asshole bartender or server, you're gonna be like, "Fuck that
Gotcha.
place. I'm never going there again." You know, service hands
Nice.
down.
There it is.
I see what you're saying. I thought you were.
Oh no, that's all I wanted. We'll get more responses after this
Man,
episode.
Shout out
Nope.
to Catfish first. and
Shout out to
foremost.
Catfish. Mr. Kidd, I want to say thank you from all of us.
Thank you.
This
Hey,
is so much
man.
fun.
Dude, thank you for coming through, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's come. Have me back sometime, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
For sure,
no,
for
we're-
sure,
You're
for
coming
sure.
back.
I
This
love.
is awesome.
I also love this because every time that we've had a guest on, they all say the same shit at the end. Like they want to come back.
And
they want to do this again.
It makes me feel good.
It makes me feel great
You're onto
because
something.
Man, you know what it is, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's something.
like between me, Katie, and Clay, I feel like I can say this is the same feeling between all three of us. Is that the same way it feels like therapy to you to talk about you? Just us being able to do that for someone else is therapy to us, man.
Hell yeah.
You know, like hearing your stories and hearing how you feel really hits home because we all feel that way. And it's like, I mean, I know Katie talked about just us three with each other having communication issues, man, like in real life. And you're saying the things that we want to say that we are not good at communicating. It's been like that with every fucking guest that we had, man.
Yep.
You know, and that's
There's so many people in this town that would do very well on the show and would. That
No, they would.
I mean, you could have like 10 episodes lined up, like of just random people. At least me personally could think of it. Like, dude, they'd be awesome on your
For sure.
show, man. So
And all it takes is one bottle.
no, I mean, it would. You could have done this without booze or anything. I still would have had a blast.
No
I mean,
problem.
that is awesome. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense. I mean, it makes sense to drink while you're doing this.
Just
I mean,
a little
you know,
bit. But
mean,
we're not drinking to get drunk. We're
no,
just.
it opens up the combo.
But this
Yeah.
is, I mean, these are the conversations these are the conversations that your bartenders have with each other when you're not fucking around, man.
Yeah.
And we're usually drinking when we're talking about that shit.
So no, thanks for having me. This is great. I'll
It's-
come back
it's
when you guys
been a-
get that 86 segment going, man.
Hey, I like the 86 thing.
The
man.
86
Yeah.
segment is going to be a thing.
Man, Clayton Kidd, thank you so much for
Thanks,
being
guys.
here, man. Thank you so much. But, man, just thank you so much for being you, dude.
Oh,
Like,
man, that's awesome.
always,
For sure.
ever since I know you, man, you've always been you, man, and I fuck with that. And thank you for being on. Tell the people where they can find you on your socials, so you know you get your shit off.
Let's
I
go.
don't even know my social. What is my social? Oh, it's just Clayton.Kidd.
Clayton.Kidd.
It's KIDD though.
K-I-D-D.
Clayton.KIDD.
Yeah.
K-I-double-D.
Yeah, you should find me.
KIDD.
Hopefully, if you're listening, we probably already have like 50 mutual friends.
He's
anyway,
everywhere.
so, yeah.
He's everywhere. Mr. Kidd.
Thank you guys so much. This is awesome.
Thank you, bro.
Man, tales
This
from the
is-
walk-in.